got a template.
A template for what?
You can look down there and see.
Alright, so we got in our Newfound Metals ports.
These are 5x12s. This used to be a 5x12 here. However, you can see we had enough room to open it up. We put a 7x14 in here. That's a cool upgrade. So now all 6 ports in the salon are 7x14. They're nice and big. But we didn't have enough room to open these up. We decided to just buy 4 bronze ports from Newfound Metals that were the proper size for the holes we already have here. So, and they are the proper size. They're actually the perfect size. So the only thing I'm actually going to need to cut is going to be these drain holes here, and obviously drill out the holes.
So we cut out the next piece of PVC board for the forward starboard side of the boat. And Jordan's now fitting on the template for the Newfound Metals port light so that we can drill the appropriate holes and get that port light in.
I specifically told them our thickness here was 3/4 inch when we added this board, and they sent us out hardware that was too long. And this isn't just like standard hardware. This is, you know, metric. It's got like a pretty big head on it, so we couldn't find it at any of the local hardware stores. So we basically have to cut this down to 23 millimeters. We're gonna have to cut 28 of these because they sent us out the wrong hardware. We also ordered screens and we didn't get them either, so we have to call Newfound Metals and see what's up. I bought a vise, but I really don't have anywhere to put it, so I'm just gonna put it right here between my legs, and I'm gonna cut this bolt with the angle grinder, which I need to go get, and yeah, we'll see if it works. Alright, that's number 1. So the trim ring is on there. So now all I need to do is put that bolt that we just cut in here and see if it'll actually fit. Because the way this works, the trim ring itself has the threads. So this fits right into the trim ring. This through bolts directly into the trim ring. So on the outside, you don't see any bolts, which is really nice.
Aesthetically pleasing.
Aw, yeah. That's in there.
Yay!
Alright, now no wasp can get in here.
Yeah, we have a wasp that's been going up to the other port lights trying to get in, and we're like, there's a big old hole. 2 big old holes in our boat, but now there's only 1. So hopefully he doesn't decide to come in here. That would suck.
This window's so nice. I can see out my boat. Hi, everybody.
You want to show the people how to countersink?
No.
What? How rude.
You take this bit and you drill it through.
Show them.
Well, that's great.
What?
Doesn't fit. This is the template that you're supposed to use to drill the holes with. This is the trim ring that's supposed to fit that template.
And we've already used once.
We've already used it once. We've already put one in.
I don't understand how they could be different.
It lines up on the bottom. It does not line up right there. That doesn't line up. Alright, that looks like I can finagle that.
What are you doing, Jordan?
Finishing up the dry fitting of these ports. So that's the last one that we dry fit. They look really good.
Yeah. We've got forward port done.
Yep, this one's still stuck a little
Forward
bit.
starboard. Both of those. And the one in the head is also done.
There's 0 rain in the forecast for the next 16 hours or so. So we're gonna wake up early tomorrow morning and we're gonna bed all these ports. But for tonight, we're gonna clean up, leave it like this. At least bugs won't be getting in. And worst case scenario, even if it does rain and these things leak, nothing's happening to this PVC board.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. A little annoyed that we got the wrong hardware. A little annoyed that we didn't get the screens. And I'm also a little annoyed that this template,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
it only worked for one port.
Yeah, we showed you drilling one out, I think, maybe two. It only worked for the first one.
It only worked for the first one. The holes didn't line up for the second.
My theory is the first one was the only odd numbered pair for the port lights, and the other three were an even number. Like, they're all numbered. I think we had 3, 4, 6, and 8. And the first one we did was 3, and it worked, and it was the odd number one. 4, 6, and 8, it didn't work, so I'm wondering if it has something to do with that.
I don't know. But that was a little frustrating. But other than that, I mean, the ports look good. Happy with them. I knew this was going to happen. Obviously, these are nice and shiny and new, and the ABIs are old and patinaed and stuff, but it's alright. These are going to patina at some point, so
Yeah.
I'll ask you guys, because you guys probably know, how long do you think it'll take for these bronze ports to patina if we're pretty much going to be cruising? You know, offshore cruising, they're not going to get washed every day. They're going to get sprayed with salt.
Yeah.
I kind of want them to patina.
We like that look.
Alright guys, so as you can see behind me, we've got everything dry fitted. So all 10 ports are actually in their holes. One of them is bedded and complete, but 9 of them need to be bedded with butyl tape. And it's not that easy for these guys behind me. So the thing is, we have to drill out a bunch of different holes through the actual ports into the trim rings in order to actually through bolt them, because the trim ring holes don't line up with the actual port holes. One thing I wanted to mention is that we've noticed that this PVC board kind of scratches a little easily, so we've been a little more careful with it when we've been cutting it and everything. We actually ended up redoing the board that's behind me right here just because of it, essentially. So we put up a new board because we weren't happy with a few of the scratches that were actually in this area, but now it looks really good. We just kind of have to be careful with it. I mean, it won't scratch if you're just like touching it or anything like that, but if you take something like a tool or something and knock it up against it, it will definitely scratch. Alright guys, so this is actually the finished port light. There's tons of bolts going through there, and the trim ring holes don't line up, so this is how most of them are in right now. We just have 2 bolts, one on each side, and here's the trim ring. So as you can see, this is through the hole of the port light, but there's no hole here for it. So we have to make those holes somehow. In order to make it best line up, we want to somehow fasten it in place so that we can drill them all out. But first hole is a little sketchy to get it there. So what we want to do is just kind of see if we can scratch it with the bolt. Yeah, so I can see where I scratched it there. So I'm going to drill this hole and hopefully it lines up. Yep, and that lined up. So what I'm going to do is pull these out, and I'm just going to put everything in with one bolt, and then we can start from there. Alrighty, so this port light is now done. Randy was on the outside while I tightened it down on the inside, and now we have 2 ports that are bedded. This took about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half to do. What do you think about that, Randy?
It's really hot outside. That's why I think.
She got the privilege of being outside, so
Yeah.
maybe I'll be outside for the next one. Only 4 more to do like this, and then we have the 4 up forward that should be a lot quicker.
So we have impending rain, and we are trying to finish bedding these port lights. We did already get to bed 3 of the Newfound Metal port lights.
They look awesome.
Yes, they look awesome. But we are on our last one, and we are trying to beat that rain cloud. So we're gonna try and do this quick, but also show you, since we didn't show you the other 3.
So Randy's gonna be putting butyl tape around the spigot right there. So that is clamped in place, and I'm gonna go outside to butyl tape around the gap.
In our typical fashion, we ran out of memory as we were trying to rush and also show you the last of the Newfound Metal port lights. And what are you working on?
I am bunching up this butyl tape and stuffing it in the gap between the spigot and the boat.
I did the butyl tape around the inner edge of the trim ring, and then I did this thin foam with adhesive backing along the outer edge of the trim ring as well, and then that will go on once Jordan is finished with his butyl tape. And I'll go inside and try to work on at least one screw before he comes in and before this rain hits.
So Randy is working on tightening that trim ring, but as it gets tighter, more and more butyl tape will come out. Just like you can see with this one here that's finished, you'll get squeeze out, and you'll probably get squeeze out for the next 24 hours or so. We'll probably clean up a little bit now, later, and then tomorrow we'll come back again and clean it up again. That should be the final cleanup. But Randy's focusing on those. The cool thing about these brand new ports is there is no hardware on the outside, so they look really nice and clean. It's coming down out there.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here with me by the fire and let it go for a little.